for the podcast number 37. We are here with Logan. Welcome, Logan. Thank for your time. Before we start, shout out to our sponsorships, Brave Kimonos. If you wanna get products or have some gears, go to bravekimonos.com.
The best gear, come on, the best gear in the market.
Go to bravekimonos.com and please use your code PBJJF. You go get like 10% off. And also shout out for Roll Life.
But hold on. If you're a school owner, what
For
could you
school
do?
owner, they doing like a wholesale program. You can sign up for the wholesale program. After you get approved, you get like a special price, and you also can monetize it on top of that. You can get a little bit cheaper, not a little bit, like way cheaper,
Wholesale
and,
price.
on the wholesale price, and sell at the school. And the good thing is we don't need to do a big ordering. You can do like by small order. You don't need to have all this stock on your school. Do a small ordering, sell. I need some A2, ordering some A2.
I do that.
Yeah, I also do this at my school too. That's helped me a lot on inventory and investing. Works to me. And Roll Live, they help us on the live stream. They live stream our events. Shout out for Roll Live. Awesome. The dentist.
James Perkins office,
Dental
dental office.
If you look for a dentist or like doing a mouthpiece or whatever, he's the
If you
best.
break
in the area.
you wear your mouth guard and then you break your teeth or something like that, reach out to James Perks. His logo will be on the podcast in July.
Yeah.
or
Also, we
August.
ordered my mouthpiece. There. And I'll bring to you guys. Check it out too. Maybe I do PBJJF over here. They customize
They
That's nice.
customize. That's right.
Yeah, man.
And thank you, Logan, for coming. Man. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
You're telling me like you're trying to figure out the best time for us to talk. And
Yeah. So I can give you guys a little background for me, and I'm sure, like, obviously, there's probably not a lot of people that know me. Our gym is still pretty small. 150 grappling. We opened up in Westminster, really officially like in May of 2021. We kind of started like very beginning of the end of 2020, but COVID kind of happened, so it's like a great time to great time to do it. But we're still small. We're an Autos affiliate. And like I was saying, it's a little hard. I'm in the National Guard as well, so sometimes I have to go away. Luckily, I've got like good.
Have to split your time.
Yeah, yes, it's not always significant. This time was a little different. It's one for a month just for training, and we have our mandatory trainings throughout your career that you have to go through. But luckily, I've got a good support staff, like at the gym. My partner and all, he runs it when I'm gone. I don't have to stress out about it. But yeah, we're small, still growing. We were talking a little about the growth of like PBJJF in the area, and I want to circle back to that a little bit because you're saying like we have a lot of. This is a great area for grapplers. Like I started wrestling in high school and wrestled in college, and I actually coach a little bit up at McDaniel when I have free time, and don't have a whole lot of free time anymore. But we have so many good grapplers in the area, and like it's when we were just kind of saying how it's not quite like when I was in San Diego, because like out here you tell people we do jiu-jitsu and we have to like really be careful with even marketing, because like some people think we're still breaking boards and they think that's what jiu-jitsu is. They say like, oh, I'm like yeah, I do jiu-jitsu. Like, oh, my daughter's a black belt in something keto or something like man, it's
like that's different.
It's a little different. It's a little different. Takes a little longer, and then you get that question too. It's like, oh, you're not a black belt? My daughter got hers in like 3 years. It's like, yeah, I know. Good for her.
And she only 10 years old.
and then she comes on the mat and the white belts give her a really bad time, hard time, right?
Or they freak out like when you touch them, like you like go and grab a kid by the arm or something like that, and they freak out. And that's something you forget too when you're grappling all your life. You go up to somebody, just grab them behind the elbow, like get their attention. They're like, oh, and you're like, oh man, I'm sorry, I was just getting your attention that way.
That's true.
That's crazy, but that's crazy how you say the difference between you here and San Diego. You told me we live there 3 years now.
Yeah, so before we opened up the gym, I went to San Diego to try to get I wanted to try to get as much information as I could, try to better myself a little bit. I initially was only planning to be out there for 6 months. So I went out to Atos, and really the whole reason I even chose to go to Atos was I was at an EBI. I watched an EBI when I was in San Diego. I was just visiting out there, and then I saw Nikki Sullivan. She competed. It was an all-female one, and like it was really cool to see. She made it to the semis, I think, and then but she had only been at Atos for a year at that point, and she really wasn't very widely known. And then she went to Atos for a year and got so much better, and I was like, well, this is crazy. And when I was out there, I trained with the Tectonic Freaks bros, Guy, oh my gosh, Richie, and oh my god, how am I blanking on the names?
I know who you're talking about.
Gio, the boogie choke guy.
Yeah, they're both super nice guys, and like I got beat up when I was out there. It was one of those things, like I was an ex-college wrestler out here in Maryland, and like a purple belt in Maryland. I was like being able to tap some black belts and stuff like that. And so I thought I was good. And you go out there, it's completely different. And like we were talking about the culture of it, like everyone out there does jiu-jitsu. There's jiu-jitsu places on every block. Here, like parents try to get their
kind of like a Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah. That's a home away from home for some of these guys. And like you look at the kids, and like out here when we get parents trying to sign kids up, and it's like, oh, they're in between sports right now, can we just sign up for a month or something like that? I'm like, and you got to take this a little more seriously, or you're just wasting your money on it, honestly. It's like I can't go and learn a language in like a month for 1 month and take off a year and then come back and do another month. Jiu-jitsu is too complex for that. But their kids are being homeschooled just so they can do jiu-jitsu.
Just to can train more.
Yeah, I was out there when the Rotolo brothers were still like in high school and doing online stuff, and like, I mean, you guys, everyone knows how crazy good they are, but like that was a priority, and they still got their schooling done, and like that's a next generation too. It's gonna be a lot harder for guys to like pick up in their 20s and be like, oh, I want to be a world champ. It's like you can do it,
but it will take a little bit longer.
It's gonna take
a little bit harder.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little harder to do that.
Only few people. Cobrinha is the only one that I see that start older and like.
Yeah.
Cobrinha start like at 21.
20 some.
Yeah,
like,
but that's hard, man. You like get in a new sport over 200 already and be a black belt or champion at high level, like an adult TV or whatever. You know, crazy.
I see like a little more promise like with wrestlers coming over, and like that's honestly, we have a lot of wrestlers in our school. I know it's partly because I was like a high school coach in the area for a few years, and me and my brother wrestled in Carroll County where we're at, and like we kind of like, it's a small county, so people know the names, and it's a small sport.
People know you guys.
So people know who we are. So one third of our student base is like ex-military, and then 1/3 is like ex-wrestlers. So like
they gotta get tough guys there.
Yeah, it's funny because every time we get like a brand new white belt, people, you know how like other white belts are like, oh yeah, new guy I can find. I'm not going to be the lowest guy on the totem pole. Like we just signed a guy up on Tuesday, and he's a wrestler at McDaniel. Just like exactly what you're thinking of a wrestler: short, stocky, cauliflower ears. So like the word like goes around the school like, oh, we got a new white belt. It's like, oh my god.
Like, hey guys, please take care about him. Don't go crazy.
Yeah. He just comes in and blast doubles them, and it's like, yeah, a lot of our white belts aren't actually like true white belts when they first start. But that's good. Like it pushes the tempo. They already know how to drill really well.
It's easy to teach these guys,
Yeah,
easy.
And they want to.
They did it a lot of repetitions already.
Yes.
They have a lot of knowledge about like how to move themselves, whatever. That's easy to these guys.
Yeah, and it's they want to do it. And sadly enough, a lot of wrestlers I feel like don't hop into jiu-jitsu because they do have to suck a little bit. Because even though like we have college wrestlers come in, they still get tapped by white and blue belts because it's a different sport. It's a whole different sport. It's like you might be able to win the takedown, but you may not actually win off of that takedown.
Mm-hmm.
I had that realization when I went to Atos. It was actually 2 months of me living out there before I scored my first point on anybody. Like I was like, and that was like anyone in my peer group, like purple belt and up. I was like shooting on people and just getting guillotined on the way down, or like they were sweeping me throughout it, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this is this is a whole different level.
It definitely bring you to another level too. Teach you a lot.
That's a necessity. The trial by fire, and that's as much as like I've learned pretty much my whole career. That's how I've learned. I try to teach a little different than that. Like just because like sometimes knowledge is painful. It doesn't have to be. it that way. So that's like one of the main reasons I got into teaching jiu-jitsu, and I love coaching, is like I want people to be better than me in a faster period of time. I think a lot of that has to come with instruction and like how you present information so that people can maintain it and they can grow on it themselves. And like when you teach people how to learn and teach people how to move, they can start teaching themselves at a more exponential rate. And that's a huge part of what I try to accomplish at the gym. I had another thought too, and this you'll have to keep me on track sometimes because I'll jump all over the place.
We like that too.
Because I want to go. I saw this. I go back to the comps. Like I said, you have the Pans coming up, and then you have the PBJJF Worlds in October, and we're gonna try to bring a bunch of people out for that. We're gonna probably really push that for us. But something that I was thinking that might be helpful for you guys too is like, especially from the wrestling side, like the biggest thing in sports and like high school sports is like a state title type of thing. And like where a lot of jiu-jitsu places go big, it's like, oh, we have Pans, we have Worlds, and like it goes bigger and bigger. I feel like there's a lot of competitiveness, especially since it's growing so much in the state and the tri-state area, like and DMV and Virginia and Maryland, like having like a tri-state championship or something like that. Something where it's like, it's not like you're not letting somebody in, but like it's like kind of becomes exclusive. Like that's like a huge bragging rights for people to be like, oh, I was a state champ in high school. We had a state championship team or something like that.
Nice.
And I think that might even bring a little competitive edge to here. Be like, yeah, our team won the state title the last 3 years or something like that within Maryland. I think that might bring people out, and it's something I think
we have the rank. We have
Yeah.
the rank is something similar, like that divided by age, and belt.
right.
And then like
By the end of the year, you can be the top one in the ranking.
Okay.
Same as the schools. More competition you do,
More
higher
points
chance
you
for you
got.
to earn.
So you guys, so instead of having like you do have an overarching like number one for the area or something like that.
number one for the all events.
Okay.
Even we're expanding to the west, so those events are going to count as well.
Yeah. How
So-
far out are you guys going now?
We go from Boston to
Boston.
Charlotte this year. Next year, we're expanding to Texas and California,
Okay.
and
That's
maybe
idea.
Florida as well.
Are you guys like taking your refs and stuff with you, or are you trying
We're
to like, pick up-
training. We have a training system. We take the
we take some ones most of the
some-
time.
Okay.
we take the coordinator, referee coordinator, also with us to go and make sure the refs are well trained and prepared for that.
Okay.
And also creating a course where eventually you and your students, brown and black belts, are able to go through the course and start refereeing at PBJJF tournaments
Yeah,
as well.
the course will be open to everyone.
Good,
But like a blue belt, white belt can do the course, but like only be able to halfway
Right.
brown and black
Brown
belt.
And that's something you see with local tournaments like that. Like if you're not putting standards to it, sometimes you'll get that person who's out there reffing and like everyone's like, I don't understand what calls they're making. So
That's the problem. They change the rules every tournament too. We
Yeah.
try keep the same rules. It's like that's like Brazil, man. Every
Consistent.
tournament we go, doesn't matter the brand, doesn't matter the federation, whatever. It's the
those
same
rules.
rules.
Yeah, and
They
that's
follow the same rules. Over here, it's hard sometimes. Like you're gonna this one blue belt's allowed to do
wrist
leg
locks and-
This one don't. This one kids can do guillotine. This one don't. Man, just follow one rules and we'll make it easy to everyone.
Why do you think that is? That like, because like any other sport, like especially if it like I come from wrestling where it's an Olympic sport, like you have those standards set, and even though like folk style and wrestling in America is different than like the Greco and freestyle and the international, like it becomes they have those federations, and like what do you think the hard hold up is in jiu-jitsu for people to like stick to like a format? I don't quite get that. Why does everyone want to be a little bit different than the next? Maybe that's my military side of maybe like
I don't know.
standardized.
Yeah, same. I think a lot of times there are people not from jiu-jitsu trying to do something that they don't even haven't experienced themselves. Look at who owns the other federation.
I have no.
Nobody even know them. They don't even. Sometimes they're not even a jiu-jitsu
Maybe
people.
hit that into that.
You know what I mean?
Black
Hey,
belt, just ain't
Wait,
faster. I
we're
don't know.
both jiu-jitsu black belt competitors that are being these from Brazil all the way here and learning. Like we're authentic federation, right? We're learn how things work. we're learning how everything works in the U.S. as well, but we want to bring the same experience we had in Brazil to the in the in the U.S. to the U.S. market, you know. And sometimes I feel that people sometimes want to change jiu-jitsu to bring more entertainment, and then don't become jiu-jitsu. They want to change what jiu-jitsu is to turn into entertainment, but it's not jiu-jitsu anymore. It's a different thing, you know.
And sometimes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't think it's that hard. Like, I think jiu-jitsu can be entertaining to watch already, and I don't think like changing. You don't have to change the rules that much to make it more entertaining. Like,
I believe.
like in my opinion, if like even just like you look at the IBJJF rules, my big thing that I would change is just stalling. Coming from wrestling, I don't know how much you guys experience you guys have with like wrestling at all.
Not much. I watch sometimes,
But like wrestling,
I trained it, man. One time when I lived in Ohio, I did one camp for no Gil Words, you know, and I come to the high school to train, and man, that kid's like 15, 16 years old, taking me down all the time. I'm so mad. I'm like, why this chubby kid can't take me down?
Well, that's all they do, right? That's all they do. And but like stalling is a huge thing in wrestling, where it's like if you take 2 steps back, 3 steps back, you're stalling, right? So I think like within the rule set, as long as people are actively attacking and actively looking to score, and like that's a weird culture thing too, where it came from. Like I actually have to like slow some of our wrestlers down, because like if in like a dual meet, like the hierarchy of like scoring, like if you win by points, you get 3 points for your team. If you win by more than 8, you get 4. If you win by 15, it's a technical fall, so the match already ends because you score so many points. And then if you pin them, it's 6. So like there's a hierarchy of like what it is, and even when the team points don't matter, like the individual wrestler's like, I'm gonna beat this guy the best that I can. And I wish like that kind of mindset came to jiu-jitsu. And like there's sometimes where I have to like slow some of my wrestlers down, because they'll get up by like 20 points. I'm like, stop moving. If you can't submit the guy, just sit on top. Like there's no point you're gonna gas yourself out for the next match. Yeah. You're gonna get up 40 points. It's not gonna matter.
And jiu-jitsu not 3 minutes around.
Jiu-jitsu can be 10 minutes, you know, and like keep pushing for that.
Yeah,
10
I feel
minutes.
if the stalling get a little bit more faster, that this can help to be more entertaining, and maybe like the time for black belt a little bit short. Yeah, like maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I think is perfect.
I like 7 minutes. That's what college wrestling is. It's 3-2-2 for the period, and it ends up being 7 minutes, and I think that's fine. And like one of the things I like, even like the submission only stuff, right? Like it's a huge pet peeve of mine. Is like they'll be like, oh, this guy submitted whoever. I'm like, yeah, but it took him 15 minutes. Like if you're supposed to be that much better,
tap him in 5.
Tap him in 2. Yeah, it's the thing with wrestling. It's like, oh, I pinned this guy. Yeah, well, I pinned him in 2 minutes. It took you 4 minutes to get him. It's like I like be better by going faster.
But when I see the guys, submission only, the guys are not even fighting.
Yeah,
no,
they are not even fighting. They don't fight. You see that they're waiting for the opportunity, but they don't fight.
Yeah, it's almost like you need them to go run 5 miles first and be like, all right, now you can roll, because you guys are just trying to wait for each other to get a little tired first before you actually start.
And even they're just doing this, right? They're not trying to escape, because when you escape is when you open opportunities as well. Right. If you don't escape in the proper way, you create opportunity.
Even sometimes in the proper way, you have to give a little just to try to get out.
And one student, like new student now, white belt, he push a little bit more for the no gi, you know, and he talk like, no, the gi is like, you know, entertainment, it's hard, like it's not funny to watch. And I show Adam Warzinski and Felipe Andrew Pan Am's final, like this year. Yeah. Like when Adam turned up like on the last minute, and they're like 13 points, something like that.
Mika Galvão.
Man, super nice fight, both like back and forth. And the guy who's lost in all the match, backing up on the last 30 seconds. Man,
hit him.
how you tell this is not excited to watch, man?
Maybe he's not watching the right people.
Right.
Yeah, maybe it's that.
Sometimes they don't know what they're watching as well. Like you don't understand. Sometimes like you're called in headquarters, and like just the intricacy of the grip exchanges. Sometimes like it may not mean as much to them as a white belt. It's kind of cool. That's getting better, because like watching ADCC, you hear the people going ooh and ah in positions, because like the crowd knows what's going on now. Like more
educated audience.
But just training, like I'm not a huge fan of even training for submission only, because like the whole, and I'm sure you guys like I try to explain this to my students all the time. Maybe not everyone listening will know, but like the reason IBJJF built the points the way they did was because the idea was like if you're getting points, that means you could hit that person.
You're in control.
Yeah, it's more
And
dominant.
points always
more dominant.
points is always towards the submission. You don't score a point going backwards.
Yeah,
Right.
always forward.
We're fighting.
Yes.
I take you down, 2 points. I'm getting close to the submission. I pass your guard,
Yeah,
3
closer.
points.
Hey, and even the rules, we don't score points back way. If you're on the mount and you come back to neon belly, there's no points.
Right, it wasn't forward. It wasn't forward.
It
Yeah.
forces you to move towards submission.
And then that means if you can hold somebody in side control for 3 seconds, then you probably could have been punching them as well. If you take someone's back and hold it for the 3 seconds there without them, like, and you solidify these positions, it means you're probably getting hit. And that was always one of my biggest problems with like the submission only. Like, that's only if you're doing that, you're only training for submission only. Like if like not that like we're not preaching like my guys like to prepare them for street fights or anything like that, but if your mindset is if someone takes you down and you stand up or you sweep them right away and get back on top,
Don't hang there for like 5 minutes.
That's what you're trained to
auto.
do. Yeah. What if you sit on bottom and just wait for the guy to wear out in a fight? They're gonna stomp your face. Like
You're gonna die maybe.
yeah, maybe. It's just that adds to like the pace, I think. Like it's part of the culture, and I think like if you're always looking to score, like you can't go wrong. Like, and that's where I think too, when I talk about wrestlers, I'll put some guys in competitions after like a month of training, and they don't know the rules, but they know like if they keep progressing because they already have that from the wrestling background, just keep trying to score, keep trying to get on to a better position. And sometimes they kind of screw themselves over because they'll move too fast because they're used to that end points being like instant in wrestling. So they like get the takedown and move instead of holding the hips. They don't establish the position, and they're like, I don't understand why I didn't get points. I'm like, it's a little different, man. You got to hold them. You got to show that you've got that control here.
Yeah.
But I think just that mindset really helps make things more entertaining as well.
And the points is not about points; it's about submitting. Like you can still
you should
submit
build that
throughout
up.
the
Yeah,
process.
Yes, yeah.
But if you can't submit, then this time we gotta figure out how to pick the winner, the person that wins, right? Like, hey, you can submit. A lot of submissions happening during this time, you know. But if you cannot submit, you gotta figure out a way of picking the winner.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think you already touched on it, like where there has to be urgency to get out too. Like if you're on bottom, you have to have urgency to want to beat the other guy still. And like there's blue belts that like I can't tap if they want to just hold in close. Like white belts that like if they just want to turtle up, like I'm probably not going to submit them. So I think that's where like I like in wrestling with they call it a technical fall, where you get up by 15 points, like it's treated almost as equal to a pin. So it's like if they have that in jiu-jitsu, because sometimes like the guy, I think sometimes the people are just like, I'm going to lose. I'm not going to get submitted. And it's like, you're not even
It's
trying
like
to
30-0.
Yeah, you're not trying to win anymore. So
Yeah.
like if there's like a more, like if they had that like a technical fall in jiu-jitsu, like if you get up by like 16 points, so like 4 major scores on top of somebody, like you automatically win. Like it's over, man. You didn't move. You weren't trying to get out. You weren't trying to score on your own. Like, so it's like, even if someone's sitting down, I think the way of like kind of punishing that by allowing someone to get up is would be good for the sport. There's tons of times where I've seen match. I think sometimes you see it too, where black belts, even in like you see more like the regional competitions for IBJJF, like it'll be like something like the Baton Rouge or something like that open, where there'll be some black belt like Tynan, who just goes against somebody who was just signed up for a local tournament, and then he wins by like 70 points, and then he was just building. He could have submitted that guy. It's like he's just building up his video library for when he sells his next DVD.
He's smart.
He's like,
works.
Yeah, just look at me pass this guy 17 times, and I'll show you how it's done. So it's like sometimes you see it, you're like, oh man, that guy should just tap because he's just giving him more video for his DVDs.
But that's just more the way that he do it to make money.
Just, right, getting that highlight reel going.
But he's in a different level, you know, like at the
That
division.
is a different level.
No, I don't. I
Yeah.
think I was we had Ronaldo Sampson out for a seminar, and was always one of my favorites, and he's so good. And then like he went against Tynan in something local, something not too long ago, and Tynan controlled the match completely, and it's like, man, I don't think
I think they fight on Pan
anyone.
Ams this year too.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna touch him for a while. I think he's just only getting better.
And
he's
Ronaldo's crazy good too.
yeah, and he's still young. Like he's like, how old is Tynan? He's like 20, like
23,
Yeah,
4, something
my
like
God.
that. Very young.
he may not even be fully mature yet.
Yeah.
That's like
That's crazy.
The new generation's here, and it's kind of like just I think of the Rotolos a lot because I know them, and it's like they're still growing too. And
Like
it's
Bonnie now, I don't know, 19, something like that.
yeah,
Same Mika Galvão.
Yeah, Mika.
But like Rotolo got the title by the
I saw that.
Young's
Youngest
world champion.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna run it back, I'm sure. Like, 'cause that division's already signed up for the Worlds. Yeah.
It will be on fire, man.
I don't think Mika can compete.
No, Mika
No,
only
not in
next
that one.
year.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know that
Because of he got
he got cut by the USADA.
he got cut on doping.
What do you guys think about that? Like, obviously, like most people, I don't want to say most people, a lot of people in the sport use some sort of like performance enhancing drugs. Like, at this point, do you think they should just like open it up, or do you think like they need to be more strict with it, or just leave it as it is?
I feel the way they do is not right.
Okay.
Or you test everybody, without to tell a date too, because that's like, like on their words, only Mika get on the test.
He wasn't the only one there.
Definitely no, for sure not, But like, and he get in one thing, who's like, I saw the podcast his dad did it. They show like the exams, a lot of things, whatever. I don't want to like say he's right or not, but that's like something the doctor did or whatever, because like his testosterone is below 300 and he 18.
Yeah.
That's crazy, It's like too low. But whatever, one person. And how the division. You tell the date, man. The medicine is there. They're gonna be all right. Who wanna take? Do you take? We'll stop in the right time, clean it up, and pass on the test. You told the date, or you test like without, like UFC do.
Without telling them.
Like whatever, I will show up on your house and test you,
Yeah.
or don't test.
Right.
You understand? I don't think so. It's like
But as building a federation, we know how hard that is, right? How hard that is for the federation, because it's a lot of
don't
things.
do it.
No, it's a lot of things behind the scenes that we do that people have no idea, right? To
that's
make
true.
things work. Like, why do we do rules? Why do we do that? Like,
Yeah.
we have all the whys behind, and we work on this behind the scenes. Look, you've seen the infrastructure here, right? Like,
Yeah.
people don't even realize we have this,
Yeah.
right? So they just think we just put the mats there and they're like, all right, go. It's all like
It's a lot of
marketing,
things behind
all
that.
the process,
But like, I think that's like for real. I'm sorry, but man, all my life I thought I did ever respected that a lot. We are inspired by that too, but I think that's just to look clean. Do you understand? Because when you tell the date or whatever, and like, okay, let's talk another example. The Nogi words was like 5 guys get tested. That's the first words they test. They supposed to don't test on the event. All right, they don't test. Now we test, get 5.
Yeah.
Now the next words, nobody gonna fault.
Yeah.
Nobody.
It's,
Only
And-
maybe who's gonna can fault. Let me show that. Example, somebody who's like unranked,
Yeah.
he don't think he can win that division. He get like so juiced or whatever, and the favorite guy on the other side of the bracket lost or get hurt,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he don't do the final, and this guy won, and they test, he felt
they
out then.
we saw that in I wrestled D3, and like I'm not sure what the rules are now, but like when I was still wrestling, they at nationals they tested one random out of the top 8, and then they always tested the number 1 guy. So there were some instances where the guy in the finals like throw in the match because it's like, yeah, I'll take second instead of winning and then getting it to disqualified. So
He prefer getting second than
Yeah,
get
not
cut
getting
by
and I
it.
get
Yeah.
tested.
Yeah.
And I think, like, for now, we don't do it because we don't have the ability to test the amount of people
Oh,
we
it's-
would
it's
like to test.
it's probably a lot of money too,
it's
man.
expensive. It's
It's
very
very expensive. We understand,
But what if we decide to do it?
I'm just
When
talking-
we do it, we might try to do it in a different way, right? Like, we don't believe like people should take drugs and steroids to compete.
Yeah.
That's not our
approach.
point. But if we start testing, we want to have a different approach. Maybe testing the whole podium,
Maybe the whole
right?
process
Because
one
now
way.
Mika got tested, but the guys in the
the
second,
second and third
didn't get
too.
tested, and that's in different divisions, right?
It's
So
so
how do you
hard,
know
yeah.
they weren't on something as
Right.
well, right? We don't believe people should take anything, any steroids, because not good for your health. There's
It's not the way that I get really more mad when like people promote that, because like, man, if you take whatever too, man, that's your own thing, but don't promote that shit. You know what I mean? Especially like the kids, how they did, like you
Yeah.
told your own San Diego, the kid is like doing more homework to invest on jiu-jitsu, to get him better or whatever. And they see like these guys take a lot of steroids and promote that. Like, no, I take whatever. That's good.
I feel like
they will follow up on that.
Yeah, I feel like I understand it, especially in a competitive sport where like people are trying to get every edge they can to get it. Like from my side, it's like I've always felt, even if it's kind of accepted, even if it's not against the rules, like ADCC, I don't think they have anything.
No, they don't have.
So it's
I
like
think if you bring a knife and you can use it.
yeah,
It's almost that.
it's
But you shoot these guys and they did
Hey,
but
if you
like,
can hide your knife under your nogi,
yeah.
you can
You're
use it
able to
during the
do
match. You throw each other off the mat all the
Yeah,
time, and
so-
it's dangerous. To
Yeah, I can't-
you have the match for a reason, right?
Yeah,
like
I can't believe they haven't changed that yet. Like, I understand going past out of bounds to finish it, but put another layer of mats.
Don't
Like,
put a mat.
or like that save
Keep it
yard,
safe.
Yeah,
keep
put
the athletes safe.
Yeah, because you have your out of bounds and have a little more. But like, for me, I feel like, especially as like an instructor or as a coach, like you're selling the wrong thing. Like if, like you guys probably feel this, you have students come in and they kind of idolize like where you are in your jiu-jitsu. Like, man, I see that, I want to be there. That's like what I want. I want what he's got, and that's kind of what you're showing. Like when you can pass somebody's guard or take them down or hold them without being violent or being like overly aggressive. You can just do it with technique, and that's what they kind of want to, like, they inspire to follow that. And then if they see that you're there because of like something that's outside of your body type of thing, it's like, well, that in order to be that good, I'm gonna need it. So like, to me, it just always goes against like what I was trying to show, is that like anybody can do this with enough time and dedication and heart put into it. You can be a certain level of good. Like I may not be able to beat Andre Gaval, but like I can roll with him. Like I can roll with him. I can give him, like, I can make him sweat a little bit, but it's not gonna, like, there's a certain level of like how high you can be in the rankings. Like I don't know, if that makes sense. I just don't like
Make
the
a lot
idea
of sense.
of like
To
like
advertise that is the only way to do it.
yeah, you can do it like that. You can make a certain level on your own with just dedication.
Hey,
And that's,
what do you guys think? Do you think Michael Phelps never took anything?
no way. No,
I don't
way.
believe.
I don't. I think.
And he's the most accomplished athlete in ever.
I think he
Ever.
probably took something. I think most of those guys at those high levels have.
But how in the Olympic is he able to do that? It's hard,
They have technology behind, right?
So
People behind.
They're getting a little better with like us, and this is why it's hard. Like I get why the IBJJF, or like I think it would be like, once you open up that rabbit hole of testing, it's like it can always be better. And what they're starting to do with the Olympics now too is like they're saving your blood, because really, if they're saving your tests because. Like
they're comparable.
What happens is those guys who run the tests, who want to make real money, they go and they adjust the chemical makeup of what the PEDs are. So like you're getting the brand new 2023 stuff, but you're still testing for the 2022. So the stuff that he's using isn't even out yet. So that's why they're starting to save, because like it's, as long as you're one step ahead, like you're gonna beat the system, because they won't even have tests to be able to match what they have yet. So like it goes down this whole rabbit
new
hole.
stuff.
Hey, we could invite Michael Phelps to come here.
Yeah, he's bald.
He's from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Michael,
we want you
we
here.
want you here.
If anything, like he likes smoking weed too, and they test for that, and he
he don't get cut and that.
yeah. I think a lot of people have used it at some point in time. And I just think it's a rabbit hole that you go down with trying to stop it. I just wish people were more honest with it. Like, even if you were on it, I kind of wish people weren't just like, and you see it sometimes on Instagram is a huge, like, you just see it. Like, somebody who's like their mid-20s who just completely gains like 20 pounds of muscle over like a summer or something like that. Like, I changed up my diet and I'm feeling
I know,
great.
I can feel your diet, man.
Yeah.
But like I told you, don't ban who's, but don't promote that.
Yeah. I just like the honesty to
whatever.
me. It's like, I don't like.
There's
I just be honest about it. It's like, yeah, I didn't get this because like my diet is that much better. Be like, dude, you got help. That's fine. Especially because like I actually kind of promote like the TRT stuff to some of our older guys, and like it keeps you going.
I
like,
promote my daddy good one and change his life.
Yeah, I wish like because I
The only problem he's break up with my mama after that, but like he got too much testosterone. But like it's for real, man.
Yeah.
It changed his life. He like way more active. He's like strong, you know.
But you're not doing that to win a world title. You're doing that to continue being able to
Benefit your
do
life,
yes,
yeah.
and be able to
Keep
do
young,
this
you know.
forever. I want like we have a couple guys in our gym that are 50 plus. Oldest one we were talking about the pilot Howard. He's one of like my favorite guys. He like because he flies around a lot, but like he'll send me pictures. He's like videos. He's like doing like individual drills in his hotel room when he's flying somewhere else and he can't be at the gym.
That's awesome. It's life, you know.
But he's 55. He's like our oldest member, and like he wants to be able to keep doing this. And like we like it when he comes in and he moves well and he goes. And it's like I want to be able to like down the road. I want to be able to take care of myself enough that I can do jiu-jitsu when I'm that old. And like I see how hard it is. That's why I love going to Masters Worlds because like just the fact that those guys are walking out there, like it doesn't matter if you don't place or not. It's like at 50 years old, you're going out to do a very hard sport where you can get hurt and like. I'm already feeling it at 30 somewhere. Like as you get hurt, it gets a lot harder to
Take so long to
so
recover now, man.
come back. So like it's like I idolize those guys. Like whether or not like I can ever be like a world champ, I want to be able to do this for another
Forever.
20, 30 years.
All the benefits we get from jiu-jitsu, right?
I don't see my
Healthy
life without
benefits, the
jiu-jitsu, man.
mental, the community, right? Being around the group.
Confidence is huge too. That was something I'll try not to talk about my military side too much, but like I feel like I do a pretty good job leading people. And it kind of goes hand in hand with jiu-jitsu, but like the confidence to just be yourself and then talk to people. And I think I was actually just messaging a friend about it before he came here about how he was like in a meeting and like you see someone's talking in front of the group and they start stuttering, they're having a hard time like to getting through their notes and stuff. It's like, man, just be a little bit more confident. And like I think combat sports in general is just something that like I've been doing it so long now. It's like, why are you acting like that? Yeah. why are you nervous to be you? Like you are what you have. And that's, I mean, you see that probably with white belts. The people's ability to evaluate themselves is not always there. And it's probably because they've never been pushed or actually tested, or they can just lie to themselves like, oh, I'll be fine. Like, I'm really good. I'm tough. And it's like, man, you haven't sprinted since you did sprints in high school football. And that was in the 80s. It's like, you're going to die if you get in a fight. Right. You're not going to make it. Yeah. So just like
about the confidence, I think jiu-jitsu sometimes give you like a little bit crazy stuff too. Because like, man, English is my second language. I still bad in English, you know. And I'm like, I can do a podcast. I don't know if that confidence thing, that's a little bit crazy.
No, man, it's good. It's good. It's a little better. It's probably better to be a little too crazy that way than being too passive.
Yeah, because so many people don't even like talk on the phone or whatever. Like they don't want to talk to people. I don't know if they will understand. Like, man, if you don't understand what I say, I try dance or whatever. If we get out, man, coffee. Yeah. I want a coffee. They understand.
I used to, when I was like in middle school and even like getting into high school, I used to be scared to answer the phone. And my dad used to yell at me. He was like, "What are you scared? There's someone on the other side." It's like, yeah, that's what it is. But like, it's weird. And then you start getting like, so I got into wrestling and all that stuff kind of goes away. It's like you just got to do what you're supposed to do. And that trial through fire. I kind of touched on it a little bit. I actually have I'm working on like writing. I like writing stuff down for like the gym. Like on our website, we have like policies. Like you said, you guys are doing that. You're putting policies together for the gym. I mean, the competitions and putting together layers of like training for refs, ensuring that you guys have good system. And then like you talk about the mats for like ADCC. Like part of that is like people understand the risk management that comes into jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And that's one of the things with like running a business. I try to do that as well. Me and my partner try to be on top of that. Like I have like a hygiene policy on our website. We have like a belt promotion policy. We have like a drilling policy, like things that like we think like that's like a typical person coming in should read before they even hop onto the mat. One of the things that like me and my partner are working on writing is things we call stupid shit white belts say. And it's and it's not supposed to be degrading. Like it's not supposed to be like, oh, you're so dumb for saying this. It's supposed to be like more comical, because I guess I could rephrase the title, but I just like the title. I think it's funny. And it's not supposed to be like degrading them, because we've all kind of done it. It's things we've all done. And like I want them to know it's like it's a different culture. Like, and like if you do try not to do these things. And it's not because like and then I'm putting like the Y next to it too. Like something as simple as like don't walk off the mat with your shoes off type of thing. And or like that'd be like just a dumb thing a white people do, but they don't know why. They don't know why that's kind of dumb. They don't know why that's like crazy. And like I said, we've probably all done it at some point. We walked with the mat. One of my favorite ones is like, did I give you a good round? Like they'll like, did I give you a good round? Like, No,
No,
you didn't. You've been doing this for 3 weeks, man. Like, what did you think?
Like, I tapped the black belt to see.
Oh, yeah, that's like, yeah, I bet you did, buddy. I bet you did. So, like, I'm trying to, like, write stuff out for that, too. And it's kind of like I guess it would be almost like a frequently asked questions type of thing. Just try to make it more standard. I guess you guys have some. I haven't been on the website.
I have like the rules and the etiquettes. I call more etiquettes. Things that you don't say all the time, but you should do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna walk. I'm gonna step and dance on this table.
Yeah.
Man, do I need to say that?
You think I
sometimes you need to.
Sometimes, some people should.
Don't dance on the table, right? Yeah. Like those types of things. Same thing with the shoes. Bow on and off the mat. Shake the instructor's hand when you walk on the mat. Shake everybody's hand. Call,
Yeah.
black belts.
Yeah,
professors.
Even sir. Just trying to be respectful.
Yeah.
And that's I think.
I did it on the wall.
Yeah,
like I put that etiquette on the wall.
And like where we have them written, I honestly think we need to like probably put them on video because like people don't like reading anymore. If they can watch a 30-second video versus reading something, they're gonna click that video.
That's true. That's true.
It's just so bad. Like I'm not a fan of that. Like it's just, but I know that's what people want. Like they don't want you to like explain. They don't have to read something and critically think about it. Like show me a video and put some graphics on there that make me pay attention.
But I like that on the wall because, like, man, you pass that every day. Into one day, you really want.
Yeah, we have we have all the submission stuff on our wall. It's funny because I'll get the question all the time, like, can I do this at this belt level? I'm like, dude, it's on the wall, right where you change every day. You get on the scale and it's like right there, and you stare at it. It's like, did you ever read it? They're like, I didn't even notice that was there.
That's cool.
You get any questions on there?
Comments? We have some comments. Yeah.
I've got some very passionate guys at my gym, so I wouldn't be surprised if they have some stuff.
It's good. The video is a great idea.
Eric Salmon, Colin Tucker, Matt White.
Colin's one of mine.
Yeah. The etiquette vid's a good idea. I tried to put the etiquette in a way where like easy to read, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of more like easier to understand. But videos are.
You still have that book you used to give?
I do. I have a student handbook for my students. So like,
when they sign up, I like that. So
and that's
you learn about the history. About
I never did it, but I like
your
it.
journey.
Yeah, and that's part of the standards and stuff that I like. That's why I want that. It's funny you say about the history and all. That's something like I actually kind of learned in my last course, my officer course that I just did, where we talked about a huge thing with like when you get to higher level leadership is making sure there's a shared understanding of what you're doing. And I think it's kind of funny because I think that's what you guys are trying to do here is trying to grow like what you really want to have accomplished by PBJJF. It's not just a tournament where you can go and win a medal. Like there's more that you're trying to do, and that's
there's a mission behind it.
Yes, and that's something that I want to try to write out for the gym. And I'd sit down with my partner, we try to write it out because like we talk about it, but like to have it in writing really is big.
It's different
because it's there. It's like you can go back to it and be like, look, we said this back then and we still mean it. Because like one of the things that I really want is like I just want people in our gym, regardless of like belt or who you are, to be able to progress. I want them to be able to drill. I want them to be better than I am now, faster, and like I want them to do it in a safe manner. And when you look at like the idea of what we're trying to grow is like a room full of monsters. Like no matter who you are, whether you've never stepped on the mat, like understanding why, like I think that helps people understand why we're doing what we're doing. Exactly. So like that shared understanding is something that I think that student handbook, like the history of maybe not. I don't need to put the whole history of jiu-jitsu, but like the history of like what we're trying to get.
It's small. It's nice.
Small.
Yeah. You should bring it here one day to show the guys.
Yeah. Easy read, like with jiu-jitsu, how it started. It's pretty much where we are now. Our lineage, because
that's
a lot
good
of times
too. I get the lineage question a lot. Yeah.
Because it's important to know where we came from, why we started this, so we don't get lost. Right? Why did jiu-jitsu get started?
Yeah.
Why were we doing this? Like that's kind of how like self-defense purpose in the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We can evolve with this, but like self-defense is part of what we do. Yeah. We can't take this foundation away from what we do. But we're also improving the self-defense aspect on the competitions because there's the way where you test yourself in a safe environment. And you test yourself against people that know jiu-jitsu. So that's jiu-jitsu.
It's way more realistic.
It's self-defense, but against someone that knows jiu-jitsu. If that guy wants to hurt you, fight you.
And it's the best way to replicate that, what you're going to feel, like that adrenaline burst. We have one of the cops that we have, he actually just made a SWAT team. It's really cool. I'm really proud of him. But he said like after he'd done jiu-jitsu for like 3 months and he did a competition and then he went to do his annual qualification on his weapon, and he's like, man, my adrenaline didn't go up at all. Like I was calm. It's like after you get used to being that high adrenaline, that oh shit, like,
I gotta fight. This guy wanna kill me.
And then you get used to, like, you do that for jiu-jitsu 3-4 times a week, and then like just taking a test isn't that hard. It's like that's it. Like it's like you get, and that's why I love competition as well. I think it really helps people feel that, like, and if so, it's a huge pet peeve of mine because I know I've seen you compete recently. I think you were competing at New Haven when I was there at the same time.
I competed last year in New Haven.
I'm sorry, I don't remember your competition history.
Last competition in 2008. I beat some guys from this guy that is with Keen. I beat him at Worlds. The guy that teaches at Keenan, they did a lapel guard. He was training with you probably at the time.
Andreas,
I beat him at Worlds.
He's really good.
I beat. He was cocky, to be honest. He's like.
When was you said 2000? This was 2008.
2008, I think.
He might have still been at Lloyd Irvin's at that point.
No, 2018. I'm sorry. 18.
8 is so long. I'm like,
hey. Training with my white belt student, beating the guys that are training with the black belts, the world champions there. Yeah. The guys who get cocky, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, are you Guillermo Mendes or something, man? And like, you know, I got him, and the guys respect afterwards.
Yeah.
So he never probably forgot about this.
But yeah,
AJ Agazaran as well, you know, many other guys.
But like, so like, it's not like that long ago you competed, but like, I think competing is important as a coach because like I saw it in wrestling. It really bothered me. I was like a young coach. I took over. I was a high school head coach at 23, which is pretty young, and like I just see a bunch of like old fat guys that are coaching now, and like some of these guys haven't competed in 20-25 years, and like the last time they competed was maybe college, maybe high school is the last time they went out there. But like to be able to empathize with your students, be like, I understand the anxiety of competing. Like, dude, I'm here too. Like, I lose. Like, you go out there, you're worried you're gonna lose. Like, we all lose. I lose. Like, and so like I think if you're not leading by example is a huge thing to me. Like, well, I think like in all aspects of life, if you're not willing to do it yourself, but you're trying to get other people to do it, who are you? Yeah. Who's gonna follow that?
I believe on that too.
Yeah.
So, like, I just opened my school in December now. Like, any of my students watch me fight before, and like they wanna see that, and I fought like 3 weeks ago, something like that. And man, they see the medals on the wall, fights on YouTube, whatever, but like never watch in person, you know.
Yeah.
And they watch, they get super excited.
They do.
But now I create a problem. They still ask me like every week, like, when you gonna fight again? When you gonna fight again? Like, hey guys, I'm getting old. I'm so busy. Wait, I will figure out.
Yeah. Well, then also it's hard to coach too. That's luckily my partner Matt. He's awesome. Like there's times where like I did a PBJJF last August or something. I don't know. It was a little bit ago. It's been a minute since
it was summer.
Summer, yeah. And like we had guys competing, so it's like I can't coach and get ready at the same time. Like I have to worry about making weight and worry about getting ready as well.
One thing is good. We're gonna do the higher belts with adults division.
Yeah.
Brown and black will fight you on early in the day on Pan Ams.
Okay.
We go test these on the Pan Ams.
That's right.
If you do well, you know, because the idea was the guys can coach fight before competing, relax, and then coach everybody. Because it's hard you take your focus during the day when you coach like your students.
I don't know about you. When I coach my guys, my heart is just like pound. It's more than like when I'm kidding.
I jump out the mouth.
Because you want them to be so successful, and there's just nothing you can do about it. I'm not a parent, but I assume that's kind of what it's like when you watch your kids like compete. Because I know my mom used to like just like shred her nails, just being so nervous because like she wanted me to be successful, and it's just like you can't do anything about it. And
the same way.
Yeah, I think being a coach, you do that like 20 times.
And you don't have control of it.
I need to have control. When you fight, man, it's on your hands. No,
The only person I blame is me. If I lose, I blame me. That's the only person that I'll blame. And but yeah, as
I coach is hard. When I coach my brother.
Oh my gosh.
My wife is blue belt, but she never fought, you know. But like she talk about like maybe I'll compete next year, blah blah blah. I don't tell that to her. I hope she don't hear it, but like it's like please don't. Like you're gonna kill me. Yeah.
How what's the difference between you and your brother? Older?
5 years. I'm older.
Okay. Yeah. I have a brother who's 2 years younger than me, and we wrestled together, and then we wrestled in college together as well. and he was always the weight class below me. So like he'd go and then I'd go, and I'd have to stay in it. Like I'd have to just go in another room. I couldn't watch him compete before I did because I'd have an adrenaline dump.
Yeah.
I would just, all I knew was like someone would grab me and he'd be coming
he'll
off.
won or
I
lost.
don't even know how he did. I didn't want to know because it would just mess me up.
They can change your
bad.
your performance.
Yeah, I'd ask him afterwards. Like it was watching your brother fight is like a huge
It's
thing.
hard.
It's hard.
True.
It's a definitely bonding
I
thing.
think we have a question here.
Okay.
Matt White. I have seen couple videos of professors fighting their students on YouTube. What are your thoughts on how often professors should roll with their students?
That's every day for me. So I roll with everybody as much as possible. That's a huge thing with even when I open the gym. Is like so if it's not me, it's my partner Matt, and we run all the classes unless like we're gone somewhere. Then we have some guys that fill in for us who are awesome that help cover down. But we're there every class, and as long as I'm healthy, I'm on the mat. I train with people. So I mean that's easy for me. I try to do the best I can, and then it's not like I'm going competition level on everybody. My biggest thing is like try to keep people moving. Like if the other person's not moving, then like what are you doing? You're wasting your time. So like even if let's say I pass your guard, like I'm gonna hollow out enough that you have space to shrimp, and I'm gonna tell you what are you doing? Why are you sitting there? Start moving. Like just keep moving the whole time. And I think that's part of being an instructor or a coach is like I'm trying to get you to get the miles in, trying to get you to get the reps in, and like me just hold. What are you gonna learn if I hold you in side control?
No.
You know what I mean? Like this isn't a competition. I don't need to practice holding a white belt in side control. It's like that's not good for anybody. Then they're not learning anything either. I'd rather them get their guard pass 5 times and keep moving, or let them sweep me and get on top, and then I'm just regarding and like telling them to keep moving. Like first one didn't work, use the next one. So I'm a huge fan of. I honestly don't know any. I don't know any other way.
Should train with your
Should train
students.
always.
Yeah.
You don't need to train every class. Sometimes you teach 3-4 classes a day. Don't really.
That's a little different. I teach like 2 a day.
But like if you
I teach 5, 6.
Yeah,
it's hard to train and all, but like every week I try training with my students. You know what I mean?
I have the class that I try to train when I can, because sometimes you have to be. Because when you're, in my point of view, when you're teaching, it's about your students.
Yeah.
So I need to find if that's the right time for me to take their time for myself.
Yes.
Because it's for them, it's not for me.
Right.
But like,
I'm more mature about it, right? I've been doing just since I moved to the US, like 9 years.
Yeah. With that, I think I get what you're saying. So I feel that way as well. So sometimes I won't be there for the technique, but I get to hop in when it comes to rolling or something with that. But because you're trying to correct, right? If you're not observing and reacting to that, you're not actually coaching.
I try
that's what
never
coaching is.
never roll on the fundamentals.
Okay. Yeah.
I like intermediate and advanced. I roll with my students on the fundamental.
When
I don't because I'm just scared because these guys.
You don't know what they're gonna do.
I turn my back here for these guys, and they do
They're
something
doing some crazy.
crazy here. And I prefer be outside and see everybody.
Do you know Don Bell? Don Bell's at Atos. He was a huge influence on me when I was out there. And I remember talking to him. I was like helping him out with like a fundamentals class one time, and like he turned his back to talk to me at one point. Then we turn around. And there was like they had just started in like half guard, and we turn around. It was like 3 seconds later. There was a guy behind the other one, like a reverse guillotine, like bending him over, like getting ready to like try to arch him like a WWE. He was like,
how you get that so fast?
Yeah, I know it doesn't even make sense. White belts when you're not looking, white belts move so fast.
It's like the right beginner prefer.
And the dangers is the scramble.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When you scramble, you're out of control. I think about this. If I lose the control, we're scrambling. So I'm trying to control you the whole time.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yes,
From bottom, top, figuring out. So, and the white, I think a lot of, even the purple belt, to be honest. Like when I used to compete at purple belt, I could make as many mistakes possible. I would still win.
Yeah.
I would go to my best game and win. In the black belt, to make one mistake, you're done.
Yeah, I try to explain that to people too. Like, one of the funniest things, like this is one of my things white belts ask is like, how do you get out of mount? I'm like, dude, you gotta get a guard first. Like, it's like I can make you the best mount escape person in the world. Like, if I could wave a wand and make it so you get out of anybody's mount, like you're gonna get put right back in it because you don't have a guard. So it's like if you're not And then when you get to the higher levels, that's how it is. Black belt, competitive black
Be
belt.
good on block it, he get in the mount.
Someone you get on mat, someone gets you a tight mount when they're down low with head control, or maybe your only option is to give them your back to get away. And then it's like if someone, like most black belts get on your back, it's over. Like there's obviously examples where it happens, but I'd say like 90% of the time, it's like there's no escape from that. Like these guys are tight, they're gonna lock it up, and it's like you made a plethora of mistakes on your way there. It wasn't like you messed up one time. It's like you were on bottom, you didn't have grips, you didn't get your guard back, you didn't get your knee inside, you turtled up, didn't block the hips or something. Like you messed up a couple times. So it's not like it was just like one mistake that puts you there most of the time.
And like you say, like some submission, like how I defense this armbar here. Man, don't let he get on that point. Over here, you just need to tap it. Over here, you just need to tap your arms out and extend. You should defense before he get there.
Yeah, for sure. And that's sadly you try to teach that to people, but ego gets in the way sometimes, and then it ends up like something like they have to hurt themselves a little bit. And you're like, man, I tried telling you not to let that happen. So I see. Did you have another one? You just keep looking at the phone.
I'm sorry.
I said, did you have another question? I see.
The guys are talking here.
Staying up on it.
Do any of you have stories of defending yourself in public using BJJ? Unfortunately, in Brazil is a little bit more.
But like, only time I don't need to fight in the street.
Hey, I think one of the last time I had to defend myself is like after knee surgery. I was in a party with my friend. He's max size, big. He was my student, and like a college party, right? It was like open. Then you have the thing, the thing you punch the ball in the wall.
Yeah.
Like he was playing, and this guy's like, "Hey man, grab the ball from him." I was like, "Hey, don't move." I think he was trying to be talk to a girl or something. And this guy's like, in Brazil, like the guys want to get strong, right? And
over here too.
No, I mean like muscle, right? Whatever. And my friend like was working out the same place as this guy.
Yeah.
Man. And then he got the ball and boom on my friend's face. I was young, like 17, 18 years old. Maybe less. Something like that. Because remember the time, you don't know the story, but when my professor left, I had to run jiu-jitsu in the whole city because he left around that time. 16, and then I was in crunches. And then I was like, the fight starts, like, I gotta figure this out. I grabbed the guy, took him down like a baby, got on the side, mounted him, started punching him.
And with the knee surgery.
It's like you were in crunches.
With the knee surgery. Like, I threw that away. I had a knee surgery.
You're like,
ACL.
Come here.
I'm serious. And then, like, man, you're gonna kill this guy. They grabbed me out, like, got me out. I was like, if it was getting beat up, it would be like, no, let him, he can figure it out on his own.
Yeah.
But and then my friend destroyed the other guy, and unfortunately, but in Brazil, like, we just went home. Hey, go home. Yeah. We stopped the party, and then we went home.
Oh, that time,
and then
now people shoot for anything. Like.
And then we went to eat something.
And the guy's there. No way. So way.
And the guy left. Because there was only one place to go eat.
He probably thought you were following.
No.
Like, gotta leave it here. This guy
really wants.
But in the same place where we eat, those like after I don't drink, but people drink, right? You're around. We went to eat something, and like a guy that I knew who's big as well. His name is caixa d'água. That means like I don't know in English.
Water.
The water. The water for your house, Caixa d'água. You can imagine. Yeah. That's his nickname.
Okay.
And somehow, like, a friend of his was hooking up with a girl and her ex-boyfriend. And, like, they put on the big guy. And then 3 or 4 guys are grabbing the chairs to like punch to fight him. I was like, man, he's alone. I gotta help him out. And I get one guy and boom, knock out the guy. He fell, and I ran to get another guy. I rear naked choke the other guy. His watch fell, and the guy that was like coming at him, it's like, no, stop. Don't take my watch. Like, no, I'm not gonna take your watch. Like, hey, Tom, give the watch back. I was like, all right, are you guys fine? Fine. I'll let it go. They start fighting. I was like, oh, whatever, I'm out. Whatever.
You can't.
But what happened afterwards? Hey, this back in Brazil. What happened afterwards? You just go home.
Yeah.
Thanks God.
That's or you go home usually. Yeah. That's not a
water tower.
That's not quite how it is.
Somebody say here water tower.
Water tower. I think that's his nickname.
Okay.
But you don't have a lot of legal issues like with fighting Brazil. That's why like you need to have a real jiu-jitsu
down there. Yeah.
Because if you need, like you gotta be able to stand up for.
Be ready.
Right. Yeah, mine weren't that bad. So I had when I was in San Diego, I was bouncing at night at a bar. And like so, and luckily, like I only had to get in between people a few times, and like so, really, it wasn't that like I used jiu-jitsu in fights, but it allowed me to be more confident. Like, of course, like I'd rather be like right here with somebody than like in a good punching distance. So when you get like and people are always drunk, and like being mad at somebody or like fighting somebody who's drunk because they're being like inappropriate or something like that, it's not. There's no benefit to it.
No.
So, like but. Sometimes people get cocky towards you and they want to like they're just mad because something else is going bad in their life and they're drinking and it's coming out, but you got to tell them to leave. And I found very early on that it was a lot easier for me to get someone to leave when when they're talking to me and they start getting aggressive, and I step closer and I would step like where their head, if this was like their head, I'd come up to them like this and be like, listen. And so I was like looking past them with my head like right next to them. Like, it's time for you to go. This is what we're going to do. So my confidence of being like that close to somebody, because I knew if they tried to do something, I was way safer there than I was if they could wind up and hit up and throw me a punch or something like that. Yeah. So like to ask her, whoever answered their questions, like I haven't really, besides like pushing people apart, I haven't had to use jiu-jitsu in a fight as much as like having that ability to do it has helped me out a lot. By being able to get
and here you can't get in trouble, right?
Yeah.
No, but he's like,
so it's like I don't want to do it, but like I'm prepared. I'm going to prepare. I'm protecting myself.
JP say that, and that's really nice. Jiu-jitsu is like insurance.
Yes.
You want to have it, but you don't want to use.
Yes, exactly.
But if you need to use it, it's better you have it.
People who truly know how to fight don't really want to get in fights. Yeah. It's like, man, I think it's the same thing we're talking about wanting to do this for a long time. It's like, man, you fall down, bust your elbow or something like that. I don't want to take off training on Monday.
Yeah. Like, man, I fought a lot when I'm a kid, I think like last time I have like to fight defense myself. I'm at like 17, 16, maybe really young. I'm in the party too. I think like I pass and I throw like something I drink it on that guy. The guy like I start to yell that I push him, did like a foot sweep, he fought. People split the fight and we don't fight.
That was something I saw happen more. Like when I was bouncing, I saw more fights that like someone got hurt because they can't fall, and that's like they fall, they hit the ground, they were calling the hospital because they cracked their head on the ground. Like, I mean, there's no mats.
Yeah, so no mats.
It's hard, and then it's so. I sometimes I just forget because I'm so distant because like all my friends do some sort of combat sport. They wrestle or do jiu-jitsu, or it's like I don't really know people like that in my friend, like at least especially my friends group. Like you see walking in the street or people I might meet at work, but like most of my friends, they all train, so you forget that other people don't. And when you watch someone fall down, it's like, what are you doing? It's like it's so awkward. They're like going sideways. It's like, relax, like don't like just break fall, roll, like something. It's so you forget other people, they trip. That's and that might be the end for them. That's all it takes.
That's true.
It's just one fall.
But I feel for me, man, like I'm always a big guy, since I'm a kid, I'm a big kid. But I'm more I compete, more I fight, I think my confidence like so high to avoid it sometimes, People like
who wants to fight
I'm
the
like,
next?
I'm like, hey, man, go away, man. I'm like, hey, man, please go away. That's like, that could be better for me and you. Do you understand? Let's forget about that. They always yell. People always yell. They don't really want to fight. Right. I think so. Like I think I told that about the car. Like I'm driving to my MMA train. You know what I mean? They got like. For one reason, I'm text. I'm wrong on that point, but man, this guy like yelled at me, flipping my fingers. I'm like, Hey man, what do you want? And like pull over. Okay. Pull over, I leave my car. I think he see my size. He drive out. he don't want to do anymore. Then he leave.
I mean,
okay.
It's because people get away with stuff like that all the time that they can threaten. I always got confused by that because I saw that too when I was like I don't go out at all, so I don't see it much anymore. Most of the stuff I saw was when I was working at a bar where people were like rude to each other to try to get what they want, like calling you names, be like, "Let me in because of this. You suck." When I'm like, has that ever worked for you? Have you ever just like?
Let's just make it worse.
Maybe you do yell at some people and you're mean to them, and they just give you what you want. But I was like, how do you think that works? You're just gonna like call somebody's names and be like, I don't know.
But I don't know. But people here on the traffic are like so disrespectful. Man.
Yeah, I try to remember
disrespectful.
When I'm driving and you get somebody like that, I just try to remind myself that's not a happy person.
Yeah.
Like they've got something else going on.
True.
Like that, like a happy person wouldn't act that way.
Yeah.
They got
like,
issues.
when I'm driving, like over here, like into that, whatever. I'm on this line here, where we have an exit here. I'm in the wrong place. I want to leave it.
Yeah.
You put that. This guy come outside. He going faster too. Don't leave it. I'm like, man, just like slow down a little bit. Let me pass. And
yeah.
You know? And like if you force, they get mad at you. I'm like, just like slow down, man. Like be gentler on the traffic. Then I mean, be nice.
Sure.
People, yeah.
People use the machine, the car. Like a part, like I'm here on this fresh car, whatever I can do anything, whatever. I think
one thing that I started learning about place that I don't want to be is a lot of people and alcohol involved.
Yeah.
Problems. Mm-hmm. Those two things, big problems.
Yeah.
So I'm not around those places.
I'm right with you.
You know,
that's like the saying that like a person is smart but people are stupid. Like, and then you throw alcohol in the mix. I don't drink myself either, and I like neither does my business partner, and like a lot of the guys at the gym have kind of stopped, and they're just realizing how much like better they feel and how many problems they have that derive from it, and that's sort of like I'm going to a concert on Friday, and like that's like a big thing for me because like there's gonna be people there. It's like, man,
I still go out sometimes,
but it's just so when there's so many people, it's just like, man, like there's just too many.
How are the concerts do you guys use? Is that when we have a lot of people around you?
This is like,
or is like you can see it?
This one's like I'll be in a seats, but it's like in an arena. So this is like the second. I've only been to like 3 concerts.
I feel this way is safer.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes in Brazil, like you're standing and people come and push you, and it's like,
okay.
I'm not built for that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But like if you on the vibes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're there for the music or whatever. Like people push you, just like follow that.
Right. Yeah, and that's
but like sometimes you're not on that vibe. Your head is not that. You're not like you still think about other things or whatever. Or you care about like, man, if this guy push me, motherfucker, he on my space. Man, just relax, enjoy the night, watch the concert,
but
and
like
be back at home.
Hey, unfortunately, what happened to Leandro though?
Yeah, but that guy had a really bad intention. Then I mean, like,
But the thing is, if I wasn't there, it would not happen.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe just you want the bottle, man. The bottle is yours. You know, unfortunately, like we have jiu-jitsu, but sometimes we have to use the jiu-jitsu. Like, hey, you bother me, man. But you don't want to be bullied,
but
right?
the problem is, like, I think he'd be too gentle. After the guy got the bottle, he takes out the guy and he said like, "Hey man, give my bottle back. Let the guy go." Yeah. He should knock out this guy, choke him out, or give him the bottle. Do you understand? Yeah. Two ways. Or you leave the bottle, man. I don't want to fight. Whatever, leave the bottle.
Well, I think
do you know what I mean?
That's like going out. You don't want to be scared to do things. Yeah. So and that's what jiu-jitsu helps with is if you're not scared to go out. Like it's not like I'm scared to go out somewhere. It's just I'm a homebody. I prefer to be home. Yeah. But you go, you feel the vibes, and like if there's something bad, and that's the thing you can sense too. We're used to those red flags going off of like, I'm in a bad position type of thing, and when that happens, you just walking away.
Yeah.
That's the best self-defense anyway. It's just like leave the situation.
Leave. Like, that's true.
Especially when you're not worried about your ego, and you can like, man, whatever, it's good, it's fine.
But like someone come here on a table with a bunch of black belts, and you got something going on with this guy.
You got to pay attention. That's one.
To like what he is, what he has with him,
you know. But like, that's one thing important to people realize, man. Like, man, whatever, you gotta cauliflowers, you know, like strong, looking healthy, whatever. Man, if somebody try fight with you, he had a bad intention. You understand?
Yeah.
He's not like an
That happened to me in Brazil one time. Like that's why I like place, right? I was sitting and like, and I was fighting MMA, winning at some fights MMA, and then the local the local TV was coming doing interviews. Cool. I was sitting, and this guy's like, "Do you think you can fight me?" I was like,
well, it's like,
in my head,
you're
it's
gonna
like,
pay me. That's the first thing I will ask. Like,
in my
I'll get
head,
paid.
it's like, I cannot fight you. I can kill you. But first, I'll be right. But it's like,
I know, man. You're so
no,
strong.
man, you're
That's what you do. You just build them up, but
Yeah.
not you, man.
Man, you're too
You're
tough.
too-
You know,
so
like those are like random things. Like maybe because it's small, you know, and see my my ear. I was like, "You think you can fight?" And I was like, "Man, I can destroy you. I fight people that knows how to fight." So
It's like you
For
say,
sure, he had a bad intention.
Yeah,
I
you
was.
had
Yeah.
bad intention. Like that, that's what I kind of say it again. It's like that's like not a happy person, man. They're not, when you have people like there's not.
and
It was it.
alcohol.
Oh, and alcohol.
that's
Yeah,
true.
Yep, it just fuels the fire sometimes. So it's like, yeah, man, you just, and that's the humble part. It's like you're not gonna be able to change that person. Like, let's say best case scenario, like you beat that guy up in front of his friends. Everyone knows what he was doing was wrong. It's still not gonna change him.
No.
Most likely, like they're gonna wake up with bruises in the
And
morning
what
and
are-
the same bad intention.
And what do you have
So-
to it? Like, yeah, well, you stuff.
Hey, you guys saw
Never.
that like on Thailand? They have a bar with like a ring,
Oh,
and
man.
people get there. You never saw that? Like
No.
Google, put it on YouTube. They have it
Thailand?
like on the Thailand. Like any people can get there and they're like, hey, I want to fight you. I'm like, I don't know, 60, 61, 260. Somebody want to fight? They're like, I'm here. All right, 250, like 60, 62.
Yeah.
They match up and they fight.
I feel like if you put that bar, you put one of those in a bar in the U.S., it would be empty. Like there'd be some guys who'd walk in there and you see the first guy get knocked out, and people are like, never mind, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that anymore.
But they fall right, like
Well, and
hard. But
they
I think
love-
that's the so cultural.
They
You know,
love
like the
Muay Thai
Muay
so
Thai.
That's
much
the
over
culture,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's huge for them. They love that stuff.
Yeah.
But
And the rules,
I don't think
the
so
rules
here
as
works,
well.
yeah.
The rules.
I think the bar here gonna get close like in 2 months. Then the first guy get there like, oh, I'm drunk. I don't know what I'm doing. I wanna 40 millions.
yeah, no way.
Yeah, no, that's and Matt asked, is Blink 182 by
It
chance?
is like
It is, but he said he's going to.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't go to concerts a lot in high school, and I'm finally going around to start seeing stuff. Like I saw My Chemical Romance last year, which was like big when I was like growing up, and then I'm seeing Yellow Card this summer, who is like they're coming back for their 20th anniversary of Ocean Avenue. So it's like I didn't like do concerts, but now I'm actually a little more established, and I'm finally going to see these guys 20 when they're doing the reunion tours.
Nice.
Now I'm going to
That's
see him. Now I'm going to see him.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
But yeah.
What is your favorite song from them?
Blink 182? Probably Aliens Exist.
Aliens Exist.
Yeah. I don't know the full story, but I'm not like a huge super fan or anything like that. But like the guys of Blink 182 got real into like aliens, like fully believes that they're real. Like went on air chasing UFOs for a few years, and like this song came out like 10 years before he started like talking about all this. So it's like I like the idea that he was actually interacting with aliens at some point, and now he's like. It took him a couple years to start telling people, but it was in that
That's
song.
That's crazy.
Nice.
And but talking about that,
You seen Aliens? Is that what you're gonna tell me?
I have a student. He was the Tic Tac. The Tic Tac, the video that came out. Do you know that video?
Oh yeah. The UFO, the Tic Tac UFO. Yeah.
He was with that troop.
Oh, okay. Did he see it?
I told him to come here one day and talk about
Oh,
it.
okay. There you go. Your first alien.
I
podcast.
think you're gonna do this by yourself.
He said no. he told man, JP, I don't know. I'm gonna try to like, hey, let's go. He was on the jets, right?
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
he said like it's not a technology.
Aliens
I'm
are
saying
real.
that it's not a technology that it's not developed
Yeah.
yet. technology wasn't developed.
I have no idea. I'm a Neanderthal. I'm a monkey. I don't understand any of that
Me
stuff.
either.
But
Me neither.
I like the idea. So
But
anytime someone talks
what-
about it, I'm like, let me hear about it.
No, it's he should come to man. That would be a great.
Let's go. What's his name? We want you
No,
here.
no, okay. I'm not gonna say his name because
Alien guy, we want you here.
but he was in the military, but the point is, I don't think we're not the way we see, but man, are we that special?
I don't know, man.
Are we that special in the universe?
That's a scary
Right?
thought too, right? That's more scary to me. It's more scary than the other side of it. You can call it out. Like,
Hey, do you know what is funny when he say like, talk about that as like you see religion? Do you know like that type of friends like, hey man, oh yeah, like I don't know, like I broke my foot last week, and like, yeah, you know, man, I broke my 2 foot. That's like that, like yeah, like yeah, like, you know, I'm there with the Ellen. I'm Ellison.
But it is it's kind of like interesting subject, right? Like
Yeah,
with
yeah.
all the,
It just gets people involved in it.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny. You get a couple different subjects that like jiu-jitsu people in general will come around. I think that's one of them. I think we like just you said like some people don't want to share things. That's another very cool thing about jiu-jitsu is that like people become very close with each other very fast because it's a very intimate sport where you have to trust each other a lot. Like it might be a guy you never met, but you have to trust that they're not like when you tap they let go.
Hey, you let it go.
Like,
That's
and-
true.
And they have to trust that you're gonna do the same exact
Exactly.
thing. So like I think that's why you see people become friends like within like 3 months of training somewhere. And those are like your closest friends because like that level of just trust and like bonding that comes with it comes on so fast. So you can like, I think that's why in jiu-jitsu rooms you hear some wild stuff being said, some very crazy things because
Sure.
everyone trusts each
You
other
feel,
in there. Yeah, it's like you can say something stupid, and the worst thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna make fun of you for it. But it's like whatever. These are
That's
these are
true.
your buddies. You trust them. You trust that like they still have your best interests, even if they are making fun of you all the time.
That's true.
It's very much like
Hey,
Eddie,
Justin asked here, what is the mission of 150 grapple?
So there's like the shared understanding going back to that. We want to make black belts. Like we want people to be black belts, and we realize every time someone has constrictions to that. But like, what goes behind that idea of being a black, like making every student that comes in a black belt is like making people their best, and like so we're trying to do that with a little bit of time that people have in their day. And like I really want people to be, and it's a frustrating thing as a coach because I want people to be the best them they can be. Andre said something to me during our class, like he said it to the whole class, and that really stuck with me. Is that in order to enjoy life at its best, you have to be at your best, and that goes with your mental toughness and your physical toughness. Like if you're not tested constantly, any little trial, someone yelling at you in traffic, that's going to ruin your year. Not just your but like if you're mentally there, just you brush it off. You have to take a flight of stairs because the elevator's broken, no problem. But if you're not at your best, you're not going to live your life at your best. So like I want all my members to be the best that they can be. And it's really frustrating as a coach when you can see that someone's like so much more like I can look at guys and be like, you should be better than me. Like you're smarter than me.
You have a potential.
You're
You
more
got potential,
athletic
yeah.
than me. You should be better than me. And I just want I want to help give people the tools to do that. And I'm not like a life coach or anything like that, but like at least in the room, I'm trying to give people that shared understanding of what it takes to get there. Like I want them to see that they're able to do it. And I want people to reach their best at that way. And part of that is like, as we become a more veteran member, you start helping other people because like if you're not giving back, then you're also not I think that's part of living your best life is that you're giving back to other people and not just yourself because you feel that. Like you feel the growth that comes with seeing someone else succeed as well because of what you did and getting nothing back for it as well. So it's hard to just put in one like a sentence or like a thesis, but like we've always had the idea of we want to make black belts, and it's not just the idea of just being a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but like because you may not physically be able to make the belt. Like you start at 50 years old, like it's who knows how much time you have to do it. You got kids, you're only there twice a week, whatever, but we want to make the best out of your time in the room, and that means like having the best people in the room to do so. So we're only trying to fill the room, and we want to max out. It's named 150 grappling because the idea is one day we'll have 150 students, and that's it. That's what our little space can handle. That's what we think as like two owners will be able to have, and we want to have a room of 150 people that have that like understanding of like everyone here wants to be the best that they can be, whether it's a black belt or not.
Hey.
But like, and they're here to help each other with that.
I'm sorry, but I don't think you're gonna accomplish that.
And that
You're gonna have way more than
Way
150.
more.
Hey,
You
no
go
doubt,
open more
no
schedules
doubt.
or whatever.
No
You just
doubt.
grow so much.
Yeah.
And no, hey, that's next year. We're gonna bring. Next time you come here, you're gonna have more than that.
we'll see.
I'm
We're
scared.
going to need to
Hey,
change the name now.
You gotta change the
Look
name.
the problem you got.
But you can. Hey, you can
Just
change.
start,
Hey,
just start adding numbers on.
yeah.
250.
250.
350.
Yeah.
But hey, 150 next year.
Yeah.
But you said a little room. How big like your
So we only
space?
have like our mat space is just under 1,000 square feet of mat space.
What is 1,000 square?
So we have we pretty much have 3 6-foot long mats that are 50-foot long. So it's almost like a 20 by 50.
You can get more than
kinda-
100.
kinda
Just
like
need to
what
open
we
more
have.
classes.
And that's what we're starting to do more.
Yeah.
Sadly, our kids program's not taking off the way we'd like to, but our adult every time we promote our kids class, we get more adults coming in, which
So
isn't-
the parents coming.
yeah, which isn't bad. But so like we're looking at adding. We just added 2 more classes in the last. I can't remember how many months, but since this year started, we were only started at 6 days a week as well, and now we're 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And we're just adding more. We have space, like we have the 6 a.m., noon, and night class, and
Cool.
night classes every day, and then we're filling in the other ones as the classes start to build. So
One friend of mine, I just opened my school too, December, and a friend like helped me like some knowledge on like on market or whatever. He told like, man, you don't need marketing. Focus on marketing only on kids.
yeah,
Like, because who's pay the bills for kids?
Right, the
the
parents.
adults, the parents. You know what I mean? You focus on that age. You know what I mean? Like around like 25, 55, 65. You know what I mean? And you go reach
Yeah.
like reach out to that kids too.
yeah.
Like on the same target too. But you say like you offer kids, women, whatever. You offer that type of class.
Yeah.
And you go connect to this.
Tell me if you have this problem with your kids, because like one of the things we see a lot is like parents have their kids like over programmed where they're doing like 5 different sports already, and they want to come and do jiu-jitsu like for a few days or type of thing like that. Like, because that makes it difficult, because we're like, man, we're very honest. Like, that's one thing that me and my partner try to. We are super honest about what we do and what we're trying to get, and like we'll tell people not to sign up if like things like we had a parent come in and like, hey, my kid's got 2 months between sports. I'm like, man, your kid's not going to get any better at this in 2 months. Like, you can learn, but like, it's like, just give that kid 2 months off. He's doing 4 sports. He's like doing 4 sports already. Like and like I'm not sure what you wanted to get out of this, and like things like so like we undersell ourselves sometimes with stuff like that. I can see you like
I have different vision
Yeah.
about it. I can share with you my
okay.
vision.
So, yeah.
I think one class you can change that kid's life. Maybe they not, Mom, I don't want to do the other sports. I think this
I
is
like
sport.
jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
now.
But if you don't
Yeah.
give them opportunity to try,
Right.
they're never gonna know.
Yeah.
But another thing that sometimes like when I moved here to the US, I came here, I started teaching the way that I was like competing the black belt. I was like, no, my students are not here to be the champion that I want to be,
Yeah.
right? Things like that. So it started changing my mentality. For the kids doesn't need to be champions
Yeah.
and on the mats. I don't need to get them to. How can I? What those kids need, right? What are they looking for? Sometimes people come to jiu-jitsu to learn self-defense. Am I providing that? Because jiu-jitsu offers that.
Yeah.
Someone wants to be a champion. Am I providing that? Some people want to come here to release stress. Some people want to come to be part of a community. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of the point of view, because I think when we have that mindset, jiu-jitsu can grow as a whole, right? Because sometimes if we got too focused on like having the best guys, the toughest guys, ended up what used to happen in Brazil.
Yeah.
You kick everybody out that could be great of jiu-jitsu or great for jiu-jitsu or change their lives through jiu-jitsu, So maybe the guy doesn't want to be the world champion.
So that was for a kid. Like for the adults, like we're like I don't think in any sense of the way we're like we're only forming world champs type of thing. I don't think that's like the intent behind like what we're doing. Like I said, I just want people to do their best at it. And for us, the word that comes with that is like consistency. Like it's so hard. Like if you get a guy's like, yeah, I can come in once a month. Like, man, that's Like, and you're right. Maybe one class changes their life, but really, what that does,
I tell them, do your best on that class.
yeah, but that just
Like one a month is like it's hard, but like if they can come one a
hard.
week,
Like, and like so that's why I say like I look at it as like learning a language, man. If I learned a language, I was only learning a language for 1 hour out of a month. And like, I was only so in in a year, I only got 12 hours of that language. Like, I didn't learn anything.
But
what did I learn?
Without doing it, you would not learn anything at all.
Yeah, and well, so we talk to our guys. Like when people come in, we talk to them a lot. We don't take this lightly. We talk to them about what they want, and that a lot of it comes into like, what's your intent behind doing this? Like do you really want to learn jiu-jitsu, or you just want to say you do jiu-jitsu type of thing? Like you heard it on like I don't know.
let him be part of it.
Yeah,
Maybe that's the way to
change,
change
you know?
his life.
Yeah.
He want to be part of that. He want to do jiu-jitsu. Man, come in. I'll show you the way. I'll guide you.
Often that comes with like they got a gi and a belt, and then you never see them again. So
That's fun. You are business too. Whatever you sell this gear and this belt, and
I don't like doing that though. That's the side of like I just don't like doing that.
It's why are they not coming back? You gotta look into that. It's not them. It's us.
And that's
why
where,
I'm not bringing them
we try
on
to
the
beat
mat.
try to beat that at the door. And like so that goes back to like that self-awareness. Sometimes guys think they're gonna come in and like I don't know what some guys think they're gonna do, but they come in and they get a 120-pound guy that like holds them down and that just like horrifies them. And where we're like, dude, stick with it. This is what you should do. This is good for you. Yeah, like you know as well as I do. There's some people out there where like jiu-jitsu is for everybody, and everyone can do jiu-jitsu, but not everybody actually wants to do jiu-jitsu, which is like it's like we can try to convince them as much as we want, but it's like stick around, man. Stick around. It's
But
so good for you.
one thing that I look back is, hey, would you put your mom to train with me?
Yes.
Would you put your mom to train with you?
Oh yeah.
All right. And would you put, think about
She's
people.
a psychopath, but like I would have to work with her.
No. I mean, like, hey, would the people that you really care?
Yeah.
Would you send the people out to your school that you really care? Are they gonna break themselves? Like a 60-year-old. Would you get that person to train your
students?
You know what I mean? Think about that. Yeah. I think about that because that means I can. Because jiu-jitsu about technique. It's not about being tough,
Right. So, but
right?
do you not have people that just show up and disappear?
Yes,
Wow.
we do.
And that's like to me it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to deal with that. It's just when you get those people who are
And
just
that's
like,
sometimes
it's
get me so frustrated. I'm like, why this guy
that
didn't come
happens.
back?
that's what I was talking about. It's like it's hard.
Sometimes.
Like when you want to see people succeed, and then like they become their worst enemy, and it's just it's a difficult thing. And especially when it comes to like maintaining quality.
Yeah,
People.
I
if
try
you
to
don't
reach
let
out to
them-
these people all the time. Like,
Yeah.
man, they go away or whatever. Like, I mention, hey man, what happened? Blah blah blah. Like sometimes it's not just me, but like my partner or like the girl helping the desk, my wife. Like we figure out like try messing and see what happened. Sometimes like it's not your fault too. Maybe like he move out or like he like man, I'm really like
Life
jiu-jitsu,
is
but like now
crazy.
I'm break up and move my house. We try to figure out who you're gonna be with the kids. That happens,
Yeah,
and
it
like
does.
I would try come back in a couple months. Maybe they come back, maybe not too.
My
But
partner's really good about it. He like if you're not in class for a week, you get a text or a phone call.
It's
or
important,
something.
yeah.
that's- he's very on top of that. I've got a few people that I'll message like for my 6 a.m. class, but like he's the one who's on top of it. He'll be looking back at our photos that we
Who's
take
showing
after
up,
class.
yeah,
and be
yeah.
like he hasn't been here in like so long. It's like
Yeah.
what's up? Give him a call.
You
So
really
we
care
try-
about every single.
We try. Our
member.
retention rate is pretty high, and like that's part of what the idea is. Like
That's
like,
important.
I agree with like
Long-term
all
need.
you guys, everything you guys are saying about trying to get people and give them exposure, but like retention was always a huge thing because we want people to stick. We stick with it. So like we do a little vetting at the door. Maybe if we didn't do that as hard, we could get more people in, but then they come and they go, and that's what we just want a place of a little bit more consistency. And I don't think it's something crazy. I don't think we're the first ones to ever do it, but like if you do your first year, like we've already like or if you do like you actually show up for your first 6 months, it was something like we have like 85-90% chance that you're going to sign up for another year. And then like for our guys who've been doing it for the 2 years now, like it's like they're locked in. They're locked
they
in.
just stop if something crazy happened in life
Yes.
or moving.
Yes.
It becomes part of their routine.
Yeah,
right?
routine, family.
The hardest one the one that gets people the most is they have another kid. They have that kid they weren't supposed to have, or not. That's not
I like,
supposed to-
accident, I get
weren't
another
planning.
one.
Yeah,
Like, oh my god, I don't know how that happens.
yeah.
But they
no,
come back.
No one ever knows how it happens.
But they might come back
But they
later,
will,
you know?
yeah,
or they
they
bring
will.
the kid to come. They
Yeah.
stick
And that's like how long has your gym been open for?
3 years.
3 years.
Right before COVID.
So we're still everyone here is still pretty young with their gym, right? So it's like that's what I've seen with gyms that have been around. When you start getting like the legacies of like my dad did it, now the kids doing it. We have a couple of teens that are doing it with like I love seeing that when the teens show up like with their dads and they train together and stuff like that. Cause like I would have loved to do that as a kid. That would've been, I feel like I said, there's nothing more intimate than like fighting with somebody like that. And I feel like the bond that you have to your kids that way is like it's got to be there.
They listen better to their parents once they share this common love, sport. They tend to listen their parents.
I'm excited for that one day that we'll have that legacy of like parent and kids and stuff like that as well.
You're gonna have to change the name. Think about it. I'm serious.
Yeah.
No, or you can keep that in this division, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to change the name, but you're gonna. Hey, we're here. We want to help you with PBJJF to have 300. We know we're gonna see you there. Like if you keep doing what you're doing, no doubt, Jiu-Jitsu is going to grow a lot, and PBJJF tournaments, more Jiu-Jitsu grow here. Even if you don't want, like, we're gonna send people out.
Just 150. Oh my God, you guys keep coming.
We're gonna send you people through your door. Jiu-Jitsu send you people through your door, even without the advertising marketing.
Then you go have a problem. You need to move now. Like, oh my God,
you're gonna have to get a bigger location.
I need a bigger location.
When that happens, I'll let you guys know.
I'll
come back. We'll play the clip, and then you'll be like, you remember?
Yeah.
No,
definitely we'll come back. We told about that. That's like your mug.
I'll bring this one.
And we're doing like every season is a different one.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the first season. You get this one on the next season.
Come back.
You need to come back to get
your
new mug.
Business partner. What's his name?
Matt,
you and Matt.
You guys will love Matt. He's a talker.
That's great.
Awesome.
Like because look, I moved to the I'm here since I moved to the US and this area in 2014. Man, like when I moved here, I was the only few Brazilians in the area, right? Everybody came to check me out. Hey, let me see if JP knows Jiu-Jitsu. I trained everybody they came to train with me. And Jiu-Jitsu was very small at that time compared with what it is now. Right. Look, I already see the growth. The
last 10 years, we were talking about, so the last tournament that we had, what was the last one you guys had? We sent a few people to
Baltimore.
The Baltimore one. So we were talking about that then. It's like, man, the blue belts now are so much better than the blue belts 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Like I bet you the blue belts now you see in these local competitions would like destroy brown and purple belts easy like 10 years ago.
But imagine now 10 years ahead.
So it's so cool to see that like locally, like it's a local tournament isn't just like a walkthrough anymore. It's that, and like wrestling was kind of like that for a little bit too before the tournaments started picking up, where it's like, oh, you could just go do a local one and get like get some easy wins or something like that instead of going to like a big regional one. But it's cool to see that you can show up to a local tournament like PBJJF and you get 8-man bracket. You're gonna have to work.
You gotta fight hard, man.
And like Pan Am's people all over the place, but we do the events also in the cities, right? We have Philadelphia, Charlotte, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, New Jersey, in Boston, right? So we're still bringing the tournaments for the area, and then they can meet each other. They can meet each other later. At Pan's, people that want to come and and fight other people from different areas. Like you still have the ones that you can drive close, and you can also travel to other ones that are still close to drive.
Yeah.
And remember about the rank, like more you fight,
the more you
got. Of course.
And that's the kind of deal. Like with the tournament, you're gonna see the quality of jiu-jitsu just getting better and better. You're gonna see people from California coming here. People from Brazil are going to come to compete those tournaments. The black belts from there, like you already have we're gonna do like review the black belts and brown belts that are competing at the PBJJF. We're gonna do a podcast.
Your go-to black belt is Dave Adams. That dude hits every competition.
He hits
every single. I have so much respect for that guy.
He
got the young guys. He don't care.
Yeah,
he goes with everybody.
Open weight. He does them all, man. Dude, I don't. Oh, he's after it.
Yeah, Tiago coming. Anton. The guys from Charlotte are coming.
Thiago Reinaldo.
Thiago Reinaldo.
We're gonna have a lot of black
Man,
belts.
so
Nice.
many people coming. Some guys from Boston. So many people.
You gotta get a place with some bleacher seating.
We do.
Yeah,
We do the last one. We got the
We have we're building on all the standard high school or college venues.
So I was gonna ask, like, because that's a thing I never quite understood. Why don't you just do tournaments use high school more? I don't know if it's like a.
It's the logistics.
it's logistics.
Okay. So I don't know if it's like an insurance thing.
No, it's more. It's of course we wanna. For us, we're investing everything
Yeah.
for the tournaments.
Yeah.
Like we're invested time, money, everything. So for us is the dates. Because we don't control the dates, like they
They
give
have
us,
the Wrestling tournaments,
Yeah,
Vice
and we
Cats,
have the
yeah.
marketing. How close we need to close the venue to start marketing that
Okay.
venue.
Yeah.
Like
That's what community colleges. I feel like is a good one too. I don't know how many. Like we have an ag center in Westminster. Like that's got big area, plenty of space. Like they do indoor like bull riding competitions, stuff like that. They're huge and they clear it out. Stuff like that. I've always wondered if you guys like look into those things as well.
we want to be a standard with high school and colleges where you can have
the bleacher seating,
bleachers,
plenty of
internet
plenty of
connection,
restrooms for
restroom.
people. Yeah, plenty of
That's
plenty of parking outside.
parking.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we want to settle. And then eventually, I think our worlds we're expecting to in a few years, start doing an arena.
Yeah.
Right, the worlds will be in an arena in this case.
Even
some
like
arena.
the last Fight to Win, I don't know what happened to those guys. They haven't been hearing it forever. But
Yeah.
they in the Baltimore UMBC, that
I
was a
remember
great
that, yeah.
that's a great little spot. And I was like, man, I felt like they had it all set up. I don't know what happened. Like that'd be a great one. Like I said, there's plenty of colleges around here too. We have so many.
The only problem is ask Josie. Josie, easy to get a college.
Yeah.
She works all day long to figure that out. Like I'm
many
here's a
calls and
big
mails.
because we wanted the best. Like we sometimes like we're looking for the venues that are fitting to our standard, right? Like we're building, and even the connection with the venues.
I think once you do one, I think with someone and you get that connection with them, like you said, you build that relationship. It'll be a little easier.
But it's still that the dates they have to go through their college dates.
Yeah.
Like we gotta figure out our sports.
Yeah.
Then a month earlier, we give you a notice what date if you have the date.
Then we don't have time enough to
They
go
don't
over.
want to give you a year out. They won't give you a year
Like they just like and then how would advertise the event in a month?
Right.
But now we gotta pay the bills for the event,
Yeah.
which is very high. Like it's like now we have the cost for the event
Yeah.
with athletes or no athletes on the event. It's like it's that. Do you understand now? Like why people are not doing that, but we're putting the work to make it happen.
I get that. I do a lot of logistics stuff with the Army, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
But the Army has more power than us.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
we have more.
I need this venue right now. I was like, yes, sir.
We have more like those like standards, like, oh, you can't do that because that's 50 feet from a water hole or something like that.
Exactly.
I get it. It's tough. It's tough, and like I think a huge part is I think making a connection with someone. You're gonna find one location that's gonna be awesome for you guys, and then like they're gonna stick with it. Yeah, I'm excited for that. That's I think you guys are heading in the direction people really
The last Baltimore
It was pretty good.
It's pretty good. They have like the
And around community
and
college,
around-
you know what that is?
Yeah, I didn't get to go to the last one. I was gone for it.
pretty
But
good.
yeah, I was away, but we had people there. I saw pictures.
Yeah. You should come to Pan Am's.
Yeah. Which one? That's
June 24th.
Yeah, I think that's the week. I think I'll be here for that.
June
I'm
24th.
doing the ADCC Open in Dallas. I think that's the week before that. So I'll be around.
You gotta do Pan Am's. Come on, ADCC or Pan Am's? Of course, PBJJF ADCC.
I haven't done.
And the guys are doing the Open now. Like it's kind of like interesting to see. Cause they're changing the rules. They're
they
changing
change the
their
rules a little
mind.
bit, especially for kids.
They're changing like, oh, we're like, no, we do ever. And I was like, oh, hold on, we cannot do that.
Yeah.
Like now they're understanding like
Thanks the kids
the real world.
can't rip anymore.
Even adults.
Well, this was just for me. I'm not sending kids down.
Yeah.
now.
but now they understand the real world. Like the world of getting like athletes black belt is a
It's
one
different,
world.
Yeah.
Now helping people through.
Do you want some money too? Like it's like that's how many black belts can you pull from? When you pull from all the other belts, it's like your numbers can go. If you
Yeah.
try to pay for that venue, like you're not gonna pay for that venue just off
Just
of
on
black
the black
belts.
belt.
But they have the
Or like high levels or
Yeah.
they have the support from the
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, you know,
Yeah,
like the,
Tell me, people still don't want to make money though. Those guys don't want to
Well,
make.
So-
they don't. Hey, they don't need.
They don't need, but probably like it
They
would
don't
be
need.
nice if they do it.
Yeah, but no. I mean, like, and that's what we think about. Are those? How can we make sustainable and real? Because like, if you look, do you remember the ACB event from Russia?
Yeah, yeah.
Where are they?
They went bankrupt.
Where
or
are
something.
they?
The mob.
Where
broke
are
them
they?
up, or I don't remember.
Hey,
what
I
happened
fought
there.
to one words that Nogi. They
Yeah.
pay my ticket, pay my hotel.
Yeah.
The absolute I close out. I make like $8,000 and in my division 5, and the tournaments like not much people. I did it to 4 fights to win all that money. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
You know, like
And
they
how
gone
can we
away
make
and
it
2 years
sustainable,
after.
real? Because if those guys gonna be gone and they're creating, I feel sometimes they're creating like a fake way. Oh, everybody, no, let's do the real way. Real way. We're grinding now to give later black belts the opportunity to make
Yeah.
a better.
You're building.
you know.
I think you're building that with, like I said, with setting standards and practices for what you guys are doing, and your etiquettes and things like that. I think that's the right way to go. But like it's tough because like it takes like 4 years to like even establish an organization, and then it takes another 4 years to change it. So like, and that I think that's the thing too, is like not everyone is looking 5-10 years ahead, and like when
We're
you're
looking hungry.
We're looking-
yeah, there you go, legacy.
Legacy. It's not for us. It's for the next,
Yeah.
Next
our
generation.
kids, your students. I don't teach my the Ogogi, my students or our students at Ogogi to quit tomorrow, or I'm not building a school to quit, because I know it's an asset for the community. Ogogi, our school is an asset for the community. Your school is an asset for the community, for the new generation to come and develop themselves through jiu-jitsu, through your school. That's how I see, like, if I'm not there, somebody needs to be there, like, it needs to be like a way where
Right, you're
people will,
um,
if JP is not there, it's still like
a succession plan. Is
yes.
like what you're looking at. Yeah, and that's luckily we have a couple of good guys with us. That's where I really appreciate, like, when I can go away for like a month and I have people that are able to look down. So that's you already have those people. So, and you've only been there for 3 years, so that's great.
yeah,
to
no,
have.
it's like I'm still teaching majority of the
90%
class,
of class,
like
yeah.
now I have Professor John helping me. He's teaching a couple classes. Coach Brent and Coach Zerwing, so they're helping me.
It's important. Has to
Yeah.
help, man.
Yeah.
But I still teaching 5, sometimes 6. I don't teach private lessons anymore because too much going on. But like this for the community. I know when they come here, we're trying to help those kids to be developed and adults to the world. Where can you find this?
Yeah.
The same thing to PBJJF. It's not like maybe when Max and I were not running, somebody will have to be running. Keep it like, we don't just want to close and like whatever. Like, we want to really build something for our community.
Yeah.
And move on from that. Like it's beyond going to the tournaments, do it and done. I think you're probably seeing a lot of federations, a lot of organizations, like they come and they go, they come, they go, they come and go, and we're thinking beyond that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And look, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we're gonna see each other, hopefully many other times, and we're gonna see your success with over 150. Easy, I'm telling you, that's gonna happen.
I can
doubt.
see that too.
No doubt. Because we evolve, we adapt, we learn how things work. But, hey, no doubt you're gonna have over 50 in the next couple of years.
Okay.
Guys,
Easy.
Really good conversation.
Yeah, man.
Great conversation. Thank you, Logan,
Thanks,
for
guys.
coming, man.
Thanks for
What a
having me,
pleasure
guys.
to have you here with us.
I've talked to you guys in passing, but I haven't.
Ossa, Logan.
It's great.
Great to connect, you know, more. I've seen the tournament as well, the PBJJF, and good to catch up and for us to like share our stories.
Yeah.
And hope to see you and Matt next time here.
that
That'd be
sounds great,
great.
man.
Yeah, let's bring Matt.
Thank you guys so much.
We want to hear Matt.
We want to hear Matt. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. Make sure you guys don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this content. This is great content. We're really trying to come here, like, give the best out of the best we can. And man, you don't have to pay anything for this content. You just go on YouTube,
And
watch.
that's definitely
At
our
least-
payment.
The payment is at least give that subscribe. You know, click the bell button, like, share with your friends. You should share this with every jiu-jitsu practitioner you know and all your friends.
Yeah.
Because that might bring them to jiu-jitsu. You know, just watching the podcast, and if you can help, you know, we're here to just like help the community how as much as we can. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Brave Kimonos, for the support
Ossa.
and Roll Live. And we'll see you guys at the next episode. And don't forget to sign up for the PBJF
If you
tournament.
guys want to check out the schedule, QR code.
QR code. If you don't have the QR
Right there.
code, if you don't have the phone, you're watching on the phone, go to pbjjf.smoothcomp.com, and then you're gonna see all the upcoming tournaments. And we're looking forward to see you at the next
Yes,
one.
sir.
Ooh,
Sa.